Time to get our cycle caching back in action. I like to go ride my bike and get geocaches. So this is my old GPS, and I have a mount that I'll show you in a few minutes that's on my bike handlebars. And of course, this is my new one, the Garmin GPSMap 66ST. And so this uses this spline mount here. And of course, this mount is like a little cup holder thingy that it snaps into. So I had to get a new mount for this. So I got this RAM mount. It comes in two parts. There's the mount that attacks the handlebars, and then there's the specific spline connection that goes to this. So this comes off, and then this will snap into the spline right here. So let's take these apart, and we'll see how this puts together. This is kind of an adjustable thing that lets you position it so it's easy to see. I thought that was important. And here's the U-bolt that goes onto the handlebars. So this can go on a motorcycle, but of course it can also go on a bicycle. So it's got two different sizes. One for a motorcycle, one for a bicycle. So then this goes over your handlebars like this. And then you put these little nuts on here. Tighten them up. Well, they have nylock nuts, interior nylock nuts to keep it from, there's the other one. Interior nylock plastic in here, so when it vibrates, it won't release, which is super important. But you get this on air, and then when you're done, you can put these little caps on to keep you from getting poked by this. And then, how is this attached to this? What's this? Oh, I see. It actually goes like this. Okay, makes a lot more sense. So this, okay, so I see how it works now. So this goes down flat onto your handlebars, and then this little bridge here goes on top of it. Yeah, so it goes like this, and then this goes on top. And then these nuts go on top of that. Like this. Okay, so that should be super solid, and then you can loosen this and adjust this whatever direction you want. Then we've got this end, so to attach to this end, we need this piece. Okay, so this is kind of the generic thing that'll hook onto your handlebars, and then for a specific device, in this case, it's this guy. We hook this onto here. I guess it goes this way, yeah. And this will snap onto here. Goes this way. Yeah, so it snaps on just like. Okay, so we need to position this so it's like this. This has little all the screws you need. And it looks like they have nylock nuts on these too. So it's got two different lengths of screws depending on how much room you've got, I guess. Okay, and then the nuts actually are captured inside these little depressions here, so that's pretty good. So we'll put this together and we'll put it on the bike, and then we'll see how it fits compared to the old system. All right, so here's our old mount. So here's the GPS, just snaps in there. It's pretty handy. It's in a good position, easy to read, and then you just take it out like this. Now theoretically, you could take this mount off by pushing down on it and twisting it. Okay, like I said, theoretically it was held on by, well, theoretically you could remove this by twisting it, but that mechanism seems to have failed, so we're not going to worry about it. And it was held on by tie wraps, which are okay, but I had to put a ton of tape on there to keep it from slipping around, so. It did have some good features. It had a wedge. I mean, they may reuse this. Come on. There. It had a wedge, which is pretty nice because that might have been the release mechanism. It broke off. Yeah. Part of the problem with this was always breaking off. Oh, that's right. The release mechanism was down here. That's right. Yeah. So somehow you could get this off, but didn't really work that well. And these little nubs would break off. Anyway, since this handlebar is not a constant diameter, this wedge might come in handy. So you can see it's kind of it's got an angle on it. So we may reuse that. We'll see if we need it. So here are the two U-bolts that come with it. And this is for a motorcycle, so we're not going to use that. We slide this on. If we shift to the left, it's in a pretty good position, but this little plastic sleeve that came with the old one, we're going to reuse that. So we'll slip that over here. Let's give it some more friction and keep it from moving around. Now we can put this over and rotate it. And now it'll just stay on there. I think it'll be more secure if we use this. So. All right, so now we need to put our saddle on there. Here's the saddle. And we need to put the bridge on there. All right, so the bridge is not, maybe we don't need the saddle. The saddle again maybe for the handle for the motorcycle. Yeah, I think we don't need that, especially if we were using this sleeve. We're going to rotate the sleeve so it's pointing up. That'll give the bridge here something to bite into. Yeah. All right, so that's fitting well now. Now we can put our nuts on. Let's get them on there so they don't get lost. We'll rotate this out of the way. There. Okay, so we'll pick a good spot here. And we need to use a 7/16" wrench to tighten these up. So we'll tighten each one a little bit on each side, and then we'll do the other one, so we don't get them out of too much pressure on one side. Until it starts getting tight, then we'll start tightening it up. So I'll go ahead and finish that up, and then we'll do the next step. I decided, since these nuts are going up against plastic, they're tightening up against this plastic. This is plastic. I want to put a washer on here, so I had to take them off and put this back on. So now the metal of the nut will push against this metal of the washer, and then the washer will push up against the plastic. So that's going to be better long term. So took a little extra time, but it's worth it. So I'll finish this up, and then we'll go on to the next step. I'm finishing this up. I'm making sure the amount of screw that's sticking out of each side is about the same. I mean, it's balanced. It's on there pretty solid now. Yeah, that's good. This was hard to do. You had to use this wrench because there's not enough room to get a socket ratchet in there, so that's kind of annoying, but we'll have to do this once. So anyway, that looks pretty solid now. So I ended up going pretty far down the way toward this controller here because it was a more constant diameter. So using the plastic sleeve that I already had came in really handy. Do the same thing with electrical tape. That's what I did before. So This is on here solid now, and we can imagine our GPS thing sitting there. Now we need to attach this. We need to attach this thing to the. Let's see. Yeah, we need to attach this thing to the this top part. So we need to get the screws out of here, and we'll attach this to here, and it'll be almost done. So it comes with two different length screws. If you use the longer one, it sticks out a teeny bit above the nut, but I don't think that's a problem. So these are the longer screws; it'll be in there more solid. So we feed this through the back. We take our nut and put that in this way. So it's in this thing. Then we use our Phillips screwdriver. Screw it in, and since the nut is captured in the device here, it just shouldn't turn once we get it started here. So this has got nylock nut plastic in there too, so that's good. We'll get that one started. We'll do the other one. All right, so it turns out when I had it all tightened up, the longer screw stuck out too far, so I didn't like that. So this is about flush with the top of the nut now, which is perfect. It doesn't have to go any further than that. So let's finish tightening these up. So this is very, takes some time, but once you do it, it's solid, because these nylock nuts don't come loose from vibration, which is a big deal. We've got our mount on here now, and it's very adjustable. Now we just need to slide on our GPS, and it looks pretty solid. So we'll have to see how the vibration is when we're riding. But the idea is you can use this this thing over here to adjust the angle so that it's visible but not in your way, that if you happen to stop suddenly you're going to ram into it. So this is a great system. This is at a nice height. You can easily read it. And we're ready to go out and take it in the field and give it a try and try to find that geocache. All right, one quick adjustment I made. Instead of having the U-bolt sticking straight up, I tilted it away from me about 45 degrees. That gives you a lot more freedom of movement for this thing, because it can go like this now, go forward and backwards. So that's going to be better. It's kind of sticking too close to me, and I think that's going to be better. Yeah, so that's better. So just a little tip. Angle your U-bolt about a 45-degree angle away from the top of the handlebar. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.